For today's video, I've decided to upgrade from the iPhone 4 to the iPhone 5. Crazy, I know, such a huge jump in resolution, but don't worry, we'll continue to use the iPhone 4 and all these other devices in the background here. I just felt like using a more modern device, an iPhone from 2012. Right now, I'm currently editing today's video, and I figured I would just explain this because my iPhone 5, specifically this iPhone 5, even though the camera itself looks pretty good, the audio sounds kind of weird in this intro part. You might have been able to notice it in the start here, but essentially there's just like some kind of weird echo reverb, and despite trying to reduce that, it's not really making that much of a difference. But what I was trying to explain is that my version of 10.3 Panther got updated to 10.3 Panther Server Edition. Now, I did this by running the server utility installer, and it actually converted my retail copy into server edition. The icons look awesome, but I have no idea how to actually make use of this yet. And even though I don't have my retail copy anymore, in the future I'll probably do a reinstallation of both versions just to start off on a fresh slate. But what I was trying to do in the first place is install 10.4 Tiger Server Edition. Today we're going to be reacting to a video that you guys mentioned in the comments of my other reaction videos, and well, oh no. This should be an interesting watch for sure. But let me just start off by saying that I read as many of your comments as I possibly could from those last videos. I really enjoyed your feedback, your viewpoints, and criticisms on the way that I was actually reacting to. I really appreciate all those viewpoints. I'm going to try and take some of that into consideration when watching this video. I know at some points I was a bit nitpicky on small technical details, and even though it was my first time doing a video like that, I'm not using it as an excuse to say that I was right or whatever. I'm just saying that it's a learning experience. I'm going to try and improve these as I keep on doing them. You guys really seem to enjoy my viewpoints on videos like this. I'm still going to try and keep an open viewpoint, but if it comes to like really obvious stuff, at some points you just got to realize that this is content just to have content. It's not supposed to be like a genuine review or something like that. This is literally like, wow, I only used old Apple products for 24 hours. It's not even a week or 3 days. It's just 1 day. But yeah. So first off, this is from the YouTube channel Sarah Grace. I have no idea what this channel is about. I have seen it before. It has 3.29 million subscribers, and based on the thumbnails alone, I can already tell that this is the type of content that is not, intended for me as the target audience. But regardless, it's still going to be interesting to see what actually happens in this video.
It's 2025, the age of the iPhone 16, non-stop scrolling, high-speed Wi-Fi, and laptops paper thin. But believe it or not, there was once a time when technology wasn't quite as advanced. Back in the...
Wow. Okay, so first off, there's a lot to unpack in the first 10 seconds. This just reminds me of the other video where they were like, it's 2024, Y2K technology is back, and now it's like, it's 2025. We have modern iPhones. At this point, it's just going to be insert the current year here, talk about the latest iPhone, and say that, well, the old stuff is obsolete.
2000s, when the first ever Apple products started coming out. These are the products...
Okay. 2000s, and you mentioned the iPhone 4, and you show off an iPod that was released in 2012. Small details, I know, but if you're going to show an iPhone from the 2000s, you might as well just show the iPhone 2G, the most iconic iPhone because it's the first one, or at least, one of the most iconic ones. I'm not going to say that it is the most iconic. Who cares? Why am I even talking about this?
That I grew up with as a kid. They were so revolutionary back then. Well, now in today's day and age.
Oh, it died.
It was at 80%. Well, they kind of just suck. So today, I'm putting myself to the challenge.
The challenge is no new products and survive, not just live with. You have to survive 24 hours. I guess you could say that this is definitely some form of brain rot.
To get rid of my iPhone, MacBook, AirPods, and only survive with some of the oldest Apple products to see if they still actually stand a chance.
I actually do use an iPhone 4S as an alarm sometimes, so already off to somewhat of a decent start.
Good morning. It is the beginning of my day with my new iPhone. Let's see what we can actually get up to. I start my day mostly like the rest of you, Instagram, TikTok, catch.
Okay, yeah, you gotta do the, all the typical stuff. Have to check your social medias the moment you wake up. To be fair, I have been doing more of that when it comes to the YouTube side of things. But then again, you know, I'm actually making the videos and trying to respond to your comments. I'm not just mindlessly scrolling because I'm addicted to it. I just want to read your comments and see what you guys have to say.
With my friends, maybe texting some people, let them know I'm up. My mom. Okay, so we have here the
It is the first one with the front-facing camera. It does have FaceTime. iPod Touch 4th generation also has FaceTime. Now, I think this iPod was actually released before the iPhone 4, or at least at the same time. But again, you know, minor stuff.
iPhone 4. So this one is supposed to be a little bit newer than the first iPhone. So we should be able to like download some apps and stuff. Oh, look, the apps are here. Oh, here's Instagram. Let's see if we can get that. What the heck did that mean? It just...
Okay, so this wasn't as big of a problem back then, but this actually is something that you can't necessarily fix with iOS 7 at least. At least as of when I'm recording this video, the iOS 7 App Store does have issues. It can't really download anything at all. There are ways to actually fix the iOS 6 and iOS 8 App Stores with jailbreaking. You know, just from the thumbnail alone, I can already tell that they're not going to do anything like that. You can always use iTunes though. That's also an option to sync over apps, you know, that you actually had back in the day. If you still have the apps themselves or if you've made backups of them.
Literally just said, okay, downloading, just kidding. Let's try YouTube. Dude, nothing is in...
Just to let you guys know, you can actually get YouTube working again on these old iOS devices. But again, it requires jailbreaking.
Installing Snapchat? Oh no, freaking Roblox. Dude, what the heck? I don't think we're gonna be able to download any apps on this. You know,
the biggest issue with this is that if you're gonna survive for 24 hours, the least you could do is actually, you know, try to make it a bit easier for yourself.
What? I have a solution. Maybe we can't download the app, but Safari should be working. So we should just be able to look up the app on Safari. Look, see, problem solved. So Instagram is there, so just click on it. And then if we can just get a little scroll in, I think we'll be fine. I actually am. I need this. It's not even just a...
Actually losing your mind over the fact that you're using a 2010 smartphone.
Prank anymore. I need to like see what's going on. This is not a good idea. Whose idea was this? Oh, that's right. It is just stuck on the Instagram page. Maybe I could try to call my mom. At least I can like talk to her this morning. It just says no SIM card installed.
This is how you can tell that this is just content. Even if I'm not talking about all the technical stuff here, which I realize I'm kind of doing again, I'll try to stop. No SIM card installed. Even when I was using a 4S as my main iPhone, I knew it had a SIM card. Why didn't you just get like an iPod Touch at this point?
And like I can't make any calls. Seems like this was a very good alarm clock this morning, but I won't be in bed that much longer because there's nothing else to do. So let's get the day started, right? We're fine. Who needs social media anyways? So typically the next thing I would do in the morning is get some exercise in and go for a run, but we cannot go on a run without music. So we have the iPod Nano.
Okay, I'm not going crazy, right? That says iPad. This is actually a really solid iPod to use because this was the last iPod Nano. It's the only one to have Lightning, and it's also the only one to have built-in Bluetooth. So this is actually a really good iPod to have, but I'm gonna guess that they probably aren't gonna use it in any useful way.
So we're gonna go ahead and try to take this on the run, but there is only currently 2 songs on this, and I don't know what either of those are. So luckily for us though, I feel like transporting music on this on modern day tech is hard, so we have my trusty dusty MacBook right.
Why is it so difficult to just have a small iTunes library? If you still have old CDs or something, just put them on your computer. Like, it doesn't have to be your newest computer. It doesn't have to be... Oh my god. I'm not even gonna say anything about this. This is actually still a pretty decent MacBook though.
Here, 15 years old, baby. This bad boy in. Here we are on iTunes. Okay, so back in the olden days, we would have to just buy the music that we want to listen to. Wait, so you're telling me I'd have to pay like $1 for every song I want to listen to while I'm running? Yep. So if I want 20 different songs, I gotta pay 20 bucks. Okay, look, you know.
Like I mentioned, just use a compact disc, you know? They've existed since the 80s. This Mac has an optical drive. Just what am I saying? Of course they're not gonna have a CD around.
You know what? I'm only gonna buy like 3 songs. I'm just gonna have to listen to them on repeat. That's too bad. I have a budget, okay? This might be the only song I ever listened to ever, so it has to be really good. Gotta get that one. That's a banger. Absolutely. Okay, so now I think we just click here at sync. Hey yo, our song.
Wow, it's on the iPod. My current iTunes library is like over 80 gigabytes.
Honestly, I'm just so surprised that actually worked, but
The task was just transfer music. Wow. At least you managed to sync over to the iPod.
unfortunately, we cannot connect AirPods to this because that's
Like I said, Bluetooth.
too futuristic. Give me a second. Aux. Let's hope this works.
What is the deal with these older headphones? You know, you could just use like the Apple EarPods that came with this iPod. They are still perfectly usable. But like I said, you still have Bluetooth on this iPod.
All right, let's go for a run. Come on. Gotta fit in. Captain on the radio.
Bro, running is so much harder when you listen to the same 5 songs on repeat.
You did this to yourself. I don't know what else to say.
All right. I will say that wasn't as bad as I thought. I think the audio on this still sounds really good, even with these tiny
The audio was fine even on the first generation iPod because it's all digital. But what am I saying? This is just another minor detail.
little old cheap headphones. If I downloaded more music, I think I definitely could have ran way longer, but I only had like 6 songs. So, but honestly, it did its job. I'm really surprised that you're actually able to use this. I'm not mad about it. Anyways, I'm gonna shower and then we have some work to do. Okay, so I wanted to watch some YouTube while I'm making breakfast and kind of keep myself busy. I thought that we would have better luck on my iPad.
You know, even though the chipset on the iPad is the same as the iPhone 4, you probably would have had more success with the iPhone 4 than the iPad here.
First generation. I do feel like it probably is a little bit newer than the iPhone 4. It looks like loads the platform, but
I'm just saying this for you guys. You can jailbreak and get YouTube working on the iPad 1 here. In fact, I have my iPad 1 right here. YouTube is working on the iPad 1. But this is not a detail that I'm talking about for the video. I'm just saying that you guys, if you have an old iPad, you can get it up and running again.
none of the content, which really just doesn't make any sense to me. Nothing just loads, which is very unfortunate. So I guess I'll have to be like a normal person and cook breakfast without entertainment. So. Half of my cooking is actually not even cooking, it's just putting stuff in the microwave. Let's see if we can try to get YouTube to work on the computer so we can at least watch something while we eat. I really, really hope this works. Oh wow, okay, so the platform's actually
Yeah, the MacBook is definitely going to be the best option in this case.
loading, which is way better than any of the other products. This is kind of our only form of entertainment right now, so we're gonna have to do what we can with this. Life is not too bad in the 2000s. I feel like you could watch YouTube, that was enough.
Denmark that takes 7 hours and has 50. Ready for round 3?
Breakfast went really well.
Even though I do sometimes watch YouTube with breakfast, it's not like I desperately need it all the time.
But it literally felt like I'm not missing out on anything. But we have a bigger challenge here. I need to actually work. I have a job, if you guys didn't know. I do YouTube. So let's go to a coffee shop and see if this MacBook can handle making some edits. I'm kind of nervous. That's a really hard task. So, okay, let's go ahead and pack up all of our equipment. My handy dandy headphones.
Again, with the headphones. Why don't you just have the ear pods?
My laptop. This thing is freaking heavy, dude. Oh my gosh, carrying this around is gonna be a pain in the butt. My phone, just in case you wanna like listen to music, I think we should take this. And of course the charger, because this thing will probably die very quickly. Let's go. Normally when I'm just waiting, I wanna like grab my phone and like scroll on Instagram or like entertain myself, but like there's nothing I can do on this anyway.
All you have are the basic apps that half of which don't even work anymore.
So I'm kind of just have to wait here. We gotta try out the Apple Pay on this thing, see if it works. Can I just get a coffee? There we go. Psych! Just kidding, guys. That totally doesn't work. This thing does not have Apple Pay
Wow, so funny.
on it. All right, so we got our coffee, and it's time to see if we can actually do anything work in this. Oh, freaking heavy freaking computer over here. All right, so the goal is to actually be able to edit on this computer. Luckily, it actually came with Final Cut Pro already installed, but now I actually want to see if we can actually import clips to it because, I mean, this is a really old computer. I don't even know if it can handle it at all. Oh, here's me. Dude, Dude, it's actually working. This is crazy. Okay, let's, oh, wait, hold on. I was gonna say this playback speed.
With these older MacBooks, you could definitely get more speed out of the system if you're using older macOS. Based on the appearance of this, it looks like it's on the latest supported, which I believe is 10.11 for these models. These are actually still pretty decent machines, especially when you upgrade them. Honestly, I would not be surprised if this is still a stock system.
It is a little tough. Like, it's so, like, laggy. You see that? Oh, no, no. Okay, let's see if we can, like, chopping this. It's working. It's just gonna take a really, really long time. So I guess we'll just have to thug it out and just take forever. Fun
Yeah, that thing probably still has the built-in hard drive.
fact, this computer is actually the computer I edited my very first YouTube videos on.
Welcome back to my channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
I was like freaking 12 years old and I would record my videos, upload them to this computer and edit them on here. It was really bad. Like, it would crash a lot and it would overheat. Like, these are really heavy and they get really, really hot. So the longer you edit on this, like, it'll...
You know, it probably also depends on whatever camera you were actually using to record. But who cares? Whatever.
probably explode. But I mean, if it works. So we did a lot of work here, but I
Honestly, the most impressive thing is that the battery actually still holds a decent charge.
do have to shoot a brand deal. It has to be vertical video. So we're gonna try to shoot a brand deal on this phone and see if we can actually do that. This is gonna go so bad, but we have to try.
The iPhone 4 is actually a pretty decent camera still, because even though we're using an iPhone 5 in today's video, my previous videos were recorded with an iPhone 4, and the camera can actually still provide some pretty decent images.
Okay, so we have our phone. Let's go ahead and try to take the video. I'm gonna put it on my tripod. Oh no. Dang, I dropped this thing so much. I will say it is durable, that's for sure. It's too small to even fit in the tripod thingy. No.
The camera mount that I'm using is actually adjustable, so fortunately it can still hold the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5 without a problem.
iPhones are this small ever anymore. Well, we're gonna have to stand it up somewhere else. Okay, we'll try the back camera. Forward. I just got the new DJI Mic Minis with their very own travel case. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Wait, what the heck is happening right now? Hello? Bro, I just stopped recording.
Okay, that's actually really funny because I can still use the iPhones that I have for a decent amount of time on battery life. I don't know, maybe it hasn't been used for years.
And it's just doing this. I guess recording that 30-second clip was too much for it. What the heck?
Oh, it died.
It was at 80%. Chunky freaking charger. I hope it like at least got the video because it's just like shut off. Oh, look, it's on again. Okay, let's see if it recorded the video. Dude, it didn't even record the video. Let's run it back again. Round 2, here we go.
The funny part about this challenge is that they said only old Apple products. You could have used an iPhone 5. Considering the iPod Nano is from 2012, you could have just used that as well and have a lightning connector instead of a 30-pin.
Oh, switch to video mode. I just got the new DJI Mic Minis that come with a portable traveling case, and they even come with little plugins. Oh. And they even come with plugins that go directly into your phone so you can record directly from there. It stayed on. That's good. Oh my god. Mic Minis that come with a portable traveling case. I know, I was gonna say, like, am I tripping? They kind of look good. Wow. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Honestly, I'm really surprised that we were able to, well, the second try, we were able to actually record an ad on this, which it actually looks pretty good. But unfortunately, that will probably never see the light of day because
So they actually said something positive about the old tech.
I think DJI would be kind of mad if I sent them a video in 720p. That one probably is not gonna work out. I feel like I'm kind of like sad because I haven't been able to like call any of my friends or like text anybody. I think though we might be able to do it on the laptop. The phone's not working, but we might be able to do something on the laptop. Mom, she didn't even answer. That's the only number I have memorized and I don't have my phone. Hey, yo.
Hey!
Hey, what's going on?
Why do you look so weird?
What do you mean? What do you mean I look weird?
Like AI.
I look AI. Okay, bye.
You could probably still get FaceTime to work on the older devices.
I actually got so bored, I actually went to a bookstore just so I could fill my time.
Do you speak Spanish, man?
Oh, this is the Spanish section? I don't speak Spanish. There's a lot of books in here. This is kind of fun. I'm kind of having a good time.
Gotta get the content out somehow.
Smells like something's burning. All right. YouTube actually runs pretty smoothly on this thing, so we can actually watch like my favorite YouTubers while I'm eating dinner. I have to say this has been carrying the entire video.
My desk and then a really cool background.
Okay, so I'm done with dinner and I have a plan to keep myself entertained and I think it's gonna be really good. However, I am worried to see how this thing will actually handle it. None other than Roblox. I was able to download
Wow.
Roblox, as you can see here. Now let's see if this thing can actually run a game though. That's what I'm worried about. This is supposed to be like a Squid.
I actually don't know if Roblox is whatever the minimum supported thing is, so if it works, I guess that's cool.
Game remix, if it would freaking load. I just don't want to be bored anymore. Oh my gosh, it's actually running right now. Okay, it's a little laggy, but like not, damn, look at this girl. Oh man, this might actually be unplayable. It's like, oh, what's going on?
It's actually pretty cool. I mean, it actually opens up Roblox. It may not be the fastest, but if you upgrade the system, then it probably runs even better.
Sarah, what do you play, bro?
Don't judge me, bro. Desperate times, desperate measures, all right? Okay, so, see the apps.
You could have also used like other websites where they're simple, web-based.
So, oh, no shot. I hope we don't have that problem on this one too. No way, brother. I know, there's literally...
Now this is just another informative thing. iOS 5 App Store is, even with jailbreaking, you can't really fix it. But that doesn't mean you can't not use the iPad 1. Like I showed you earlier, you can fix YouTube, you can sync over apps and stuff.
Nothing to do on this. If we have Safari and we're on the Wi-Fi, it better freaking work. Let's see what game, what can we play on here? What can we do? Okay, it actually is loading. That's good, right? We have a lot of games on here we could choose from. I feel like I'm like...
Oh, what do you know? They actually went to cool math games.
Taking it so old school. Like I actually have to choose a game from here to entertain myself. No shot. Ah! I'm bored of watching videos. I want to watch TikTok. Oh, maybe we could go on TikTok on this. It literally will load it.
I have no words.
And then like nothing actually works. Like why would it even, like what is this iPad good for?
What am I supposed, I mean, how am I gonna, I can't even, there's nothing left for me.
Quite literally.
You did this to yourself. I don't know what to say. You could have used the iPad 4, which is also a 2012 device. At least then you would have a Retina display as well.
Nothing. We can't do anything on this. I think I'm ready for bed. I'm done with this. Might as well just go to sleep, right? Nothing better to do. I'm so brain rot. Like normally, like I would have a YouTube video playing or something, but like I'm just having to get used to not having freaking technology all the time, and it really does suck. But it's kind of nice. Ah! My thoughts. Unfortunately, I do end my night every night with a doom scroll on TikTok just to like, you know, relax and entertain myself.
Yes, no better way to unwind than by doom scrolling. I do watch YouTube quite a bit. I do actually tend to watch a lot of other tech videos, try to learn more, so I do get some use out of it.
I did attempt to go on TikTok on here, and I kind of just get stuck with this. So I don't think TikTok or Instagram or honestly any of my social medias are really up for grabs right now. I guess the only thing really left to do on this phone is I am so disappointed that
Was that the only game on the iPhone?
I can't use my phone, but on the bright side, at least I can actually focus on better things for me, like reading instead of just doom scrolling. Like I have no other choice but to kind of read before bed, which I think is probably a better habit than being on my phone for 2 hours and staying up till 2 in the morning. My new nighttime routine.
At least with the older iPhones, you know that the alarm is actually going to work as an alarm.
Oh, I forgot. No wireless charging.
I think that's part of the comments that you guys told me to watch this video, like there's no MagSafe. I guess technically if you're just used to putting your phone on it, it's just kind of like something that becomes a habit. I'm not saying that this is excusable though. It's still funny.
Well, it's officially been the 24 hours with the oldest Apple products. Finally, I'm done with this. And I can finally use my iPhone 16 again. And honestly,
I can finally use my latest iPhone without no problems. Wow.
it was actually way harder than I even imagined it would be. I guess I just have more brain rot than I thought. I definitely wouldn't
She acknowledges the fact that she has a brain rot.
recommend trying this experiment. It was almost just like 24 hours without any social media. at all. And honestly, none of the products really worked super well, but I did learn a valuable lesson. Not to take for granted the tech that I do have. We are so lucky to have such amazing technology right at our fingertips. So next time you're scrolling TikTok, just remember how lucky you are that you don't have to actually like read a book or like go outside or anything.
Honestly, that was actually a pretty decent ending for the video. I know that there's a lot of things to point and laugh at, but at the end of the day, what she said at the end is pretty valid. Don't take for granted what you have, because if you don't have it, then it's like, what are you gonna do? And honestly, modern tech is actually pretty cool considering what it's capable of. But at the same time, you know, the old stuff isn't obsolete either. We're using macOS Lion to watch this video, and we're using an iPhone 5 as the camera. Honestly, I thought this was going to be way worse. They did make an attempt, and there were many things wrong, I'm not denying that, but I just thought it was going to be even worse than what I was expecting. It was still funny though, like, oh, it's not working, well, of course it's not going to work out of the box. I mean, you know, if I try to use old Safari here on macOS Lion, it's obviously not going to work, but with some time and effort, you know, I was able to set up a modern web browser. You know, the older stuff is just going to take more time to really set up. That being said though, if I had to choose between this and this, I probably get more entertainment value out of this video. Now this is epic. So now let's take a look at the comments of this video, see what people have to say. There's probably going to be a decent amount of actuallys. I'm trying to avoid that. I just want to do a fair viewpoint. Yes, there were issues, like I said. Again, not the worst I've seen. In today's video, I used the oldest Apple products for 24 hours. This was a super hard but fun challenge. What did you think of this challenge? Did you ever use any of the Apple products? The iBook, iPod Nano, iPhone 4, or MacBook 1st Gen? What is going on with this description? I've been waiting for this video for years. Okay, iPod Nano 7, which is the one you had, actually did have Bluetooth, which, yeah, is true. Would love to see you do a 90s or 80s life living video for 48 hours, only using a landline phone, VCR, DVD, downgrade and jailbreak iPhone 4. This is like... There's all these comments here, and then there's just jailbreak. Just insert a SIM card. If you sign into your Apple account on the phone and then click purchase, you can re-download apps. Yeah, I mean, this would work, but like I said earlier, iOS 7 App Store is having issues as of right now. There might be a fix for it in the future, but as of right now, you can actually still get iOS 6 to work. If you would have jailbroken iPad 1 and the iPhone 4, you could sideload, patch YouTube. I mean, I would have done that, but does it seem like that would have been done in a video like this? You should use iPhone 5S or 5C. I mean, you would get more use out of those compared to the 4. iPad 1 was released in 2010, iPhone 4 in April and June. It's the same chipset, but the iPad 1 got iOS 5 and the iPhone 4 got iOS 7. Now, whether or not that's a good thing, that's another story, but the iPhone 4 did get more support. iPhone 4 Pro Max is indeed crazy. I think that's the extent of the comments for the most part. Most of it's just like a really cool video. And like I said, this isn't the worst I've seen, but the devices themselves can still technically do more. And that was my reaction of today's video. And I'm just now noticing, actually taking a look at this thumbnail, what is this iPod? Like, that is such a knockoff looking iPod. And of course, I guess that's where the iBook came in from the description. Gotta have that Y2K technology, right? If you have comments of your own, or you want to share something in the comments, then leave one down below. And to finish off today's video, let's wrap up with the Mac situation. Now, for some reason, even though it did the install and it seemed like it was working just fine, yeah, this is actually still 10.3 Server Edition right there. And if I go into System Preferences, you can see that we do technically have macOS Server on 10.4, but for some reason, every time I try to restart into it, it just goes back to 10.3 Server. So one way to get around this is to have, a retail copy and update it just like I did with 10.3. For some reason, I just don't know what's happening here, and you know what, I'm not going to spend any more time because, well, yeah, I'll probably end up fixing this off camera. Maybe I'll just redo the 10.3 server stuff as well, but I guess at least I know now that the upgrade path from retail to server does work, so I guess I'll just use that for the meantime. Now maybe this would actually work if I had like a retail copy of the DVDs or even the CD version, but maybe something's going weird because I'm using a FireWire drive. Not entirely sure. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, then consider leaving a thumbs up, and if you want to see more reaction content, then consider subscribing. We've also got a lot more exciting content on the way, just like we did our setup tour for the Mac Pro down here. We've also got more setups in action. Obviously, we still need to cover the G5 setup itself, and don't forget, we've also got more room for improvement here. It's just waiting to be upgraded with more awesome tech. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.